Hi and welcome back to Down the Shed with me, Jason. So this is an update to the parking ticket video that I made yesterday. So in relation to the ticket not being sealed, a parking ticket envelope does not have to be sealed to be legal. The key factor is whether the ticket itself contains the necessary information and is issued in accordance with regulations, not the state of the envelope. While some parking tickets are placed in sealed envelopes, others may be affixed to the vehicle or handed to the driver directly. So there are no... Get this out. So this is, even though it's not been sealed, as you can see the peeled tab, even though this hasn't been a sealed ticket and anyone could have removed it from the vehicle, because in my book it should be sealed if it's affixed to the vehicle, even though it hasn't been sealed, it's still a legal ticket, it's still valid. How you would prove if somebody took it from your vehicle, I don't know. I mean, you could take photos, but then they could argue you took it out and took photos. So, in my opinion, if the ticket has been issued to a vehicle with nobody in the vehicle or nobody near the vehicle, then it should be sealed. However, what invalidates a parking ticket? So I'm reading from my other computer again. Your ticket should be cancelled if you can prove you couldn't see any road markings or signs. The signs or markings were hard to read. For example, they'd faded or were hidden by trees. The signs were misleading or confusing. There weren't any signs saying parking was suspended. So basically, by those signs having the defaced no parking or parking restriction circle makes it invalid. The fact that they're so high makes it unclear in my book, and the fact that there were no yellow road markings identifying the restricted area, completely illegal. Now the parking enforcement officer, or one of them, there's 3 different ones that come out here, and the one that came today is a decent guy. I had a pleasant conversation with him, a friendly conversation with him, and I put it to him that the tickets aren't legal because there's no yellow markings. And he told me that they've been ordered to issue tickets regardless. This is bullying and scaremongering. They're working on people who take the 14-day discount for 35 quid, panic and pay that before they get a 70 quid ticket. That is bullying, that is scaremongering, and it's highly illegal in my book. If there's no yellow markings, it's an illegal ticket. So they shouldn't even be issuing these, but they've been ordered to. Now they're scared they're going to lose their jobs if they don't. So fair enough to the parking enforcement officers, they're just doing what they've been told to do. But it is not cricket. No yellow line, no legal ticket. So just wanted to update the video yesterday based on the fact that your local council, I stopped wiggling my legs because what was the laptop, they're basically issuing tickets based on the fact that the motorist is going to panic into paying the £35 reduced fee instead of appealing the ticket. So I don't know if the laptop camera is going to pick this up. Whoa. A penalty charge of £70 is now payable and must be paid not later than the last day of the period of 28 days beginning with the date on which this PCN was served. The penalty charge will be reduced by a discount of 50% to £35 if it is paid not later than the last day of the period of 14 days beginning with the date on which the PCN was served, 25th 8th 25. That's the last day of the discount period. So that is scaring you, the motorists, into paying this early. They make 35 quid. That's paid his flipping hour pay. Any others he get are just cream on the cake, cherry on the icing for the council. Never ever ever pay one of these without checking your laws and the legality of the ticket. My email has gone to the management. I've put in many complaints and I've demanded that they come and put yellow lines in place out of all the illegal money that they've already obtained. That should cover the cost. The council should not be issuing these, and I'm now going to consider taking some form of legal action against Wiltshire Council into having every parking restricted area in this county correctly identified. I shall put another picture back in on this video in a moment, and you will see that there is no markings. Now in the picture my car's parked legally in a dotted white box. They can put the bloody white boxes in where you can park, but they can't put a yellow line where you can't park. That is entrapment. So here you can see my car was parked legally, but when I obtained the ticket it was parked on roughly where that drain cover or that drain is. Can you see a yellow line before the drain, after the drain, going across the drain? Because if they do put a yellow line there, it will have to go across the drain to keep it solid. Double yellow lines, I believe that the double yellow line or a single yellow line is broken, or it doesn't have end caps on it, so where the line goes there should be an end cap. Okay, quick update. I've just googled about the yellow lines. Yes, broken or faded yellow lines can still be enforceable, so be careful with that one. It depends on the severity of the damage and whether the restriction is still clearly discernible. If the lines are so faded or damaged that a driver could generally not see them, then challenging a ticket might be successful. So do not count a broken or damaged faded yellow line as being an immediate get out of jail free card. So here's another picture of the sign. That isn't up to standard. Here's one that is. That's how the other two signs even, should look. Wiltshire Council, get your ducks in a row, sort your crap out, get it legal. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video later on. Know your laws.